Hello, Jacob. Yeah, when you posted this in my Discord, I counted. I think I've played, like, over 50 of these games. I played over 50 of these games. The majority of them I have played. So I figured, why not? I'm bored. I've been playing Tales of Innocence all day, so I want to mix it up a bit. Okay, so let's do the shit I haven't played. I don't even know what game that is. It looks like a Naruto game. I've never heard of it before. I've never played that one. Did not play the Bleach game. I didn't play Batride War 1. I played the other ones. I think I legit have played, like, every other game in here. Ken's Rage 2, I did not play. I only played the demo, and I thought it was terrible. Dragon Quest Heroes 1, I did not play. Persona Scramble, I did not play. Yeah, I legit think I have played every other game on here, to some capacity. Varying capacities, but, yeah. Okay, so I think I'm gonna get the bad games out of the way first. Samurai 5. It's not a terrible game, but it just feels like it's an early access. It does not feel finished at all. The mechanics are dumbed down. You can't even have fun with the game unless you use, like, mods and stuff, which I think is really dumb. I hated playing it. I thought it was just boring and one-dimensional, and there just wasn't much to it. All the grinding just felt pointless. There wasn't anything really interesting to grind for. It's kind of just grinding for the sake of grinding, which I don't really like. I love a hardcore grind. You know, I play a lot of grindy games and stuff, but there needs to be a purpose behind it, and not just doing it to pad out the game and make it seem like it has more content than it does. And that was precisely the problem I had with it. There were barely any movesets. Movesets that were in the game weren't very fun. The officers tech out of everything. There's hyper armor all over the place. It just wasn't really enjoyable to play at all. I did get some fun out of it, but it was just bringing the worst out of me. I really didn't enjoy it. The first Fate Extella was also a pretty bad game. The pacing is horrendous. The second one is pretty good. I don't know what tier I would put that in, but it's actually a pretty solid game, especially not being made by Koei or Capcom. It's actually a pretty good game. The first one is a piece of shit. It really is. It is straight Kusage. There's really not much redeeming qualities to it. Batride War 2 is not a bad game for an imitation musou game. It's not a bad game at all, but the load times are horrendous. The load times are embarrassing in this game. I actually did everything in this game. I played through it. I did a bunch of videos on the channel. I actually think out of all the imitation musou games, the characters feel very unique. They actually feel almost on par with Basara. Quite a few notches below, but you know, there's no clones in the game for one, and everybody plays unique. And a lot of the stuff that they can do in the shows, they can do in the game. It's just the performance was really bad. The load times were horrendous. It really dampened the game. It's one of those. It's kind of like Avengers. You know, Avengers isn't a terrible game either, but the load times really do dampen a lot of your fun with it. In terms of other bad games, Gintama Rumble. I didn't play this one that much, but it felt like the standard shitty Tamsoft game that they get like the B team to make, and the badass A team is doing like Oni-chan Bar and shit. It just didn't really feel that great. I didn't play Underwater Ray Romano that much. I'm just gonna go ahead and put that in not played. I haven't played it enough to really form an opinion. Cenron Kagura. I don't know which Cenron Kagura this is, but actually, yeah, this is the first one. Only redeeming quality of this game is how fast it is. The cancel windows are really nice, but everything else, every character is the same. You just do the same combo over and over. It's just a mess. It feels like shit. I had someone recommend that game to me, and I paid like full price for it back when it came out. I could barely stand it. It's just a bad game overall. Warriors All-Stars is actually pretty bad too. Kind of has the same problem Samurai Warriors 5 has, where the content that's in the game is not objectively terrible. It's just that they pad it out so much, and the combat is also dumbed down, and there's just not really much gameplay merit to the game. The roster on the other side, other hand, was fucking awesome. They had like Tokiden characters and stuff in this. I thought the roster was pretty cool, and they had like William from Neo in it and stuff. The roster was great. It's just the gameplay was dumbed down, and you know, they wanted you to play through the game like 80 times to get these endings, and it's just like there wasn't really much else to the game. The customization was really bad too. If you like grinding, yeah, the OST was good too. It's just gameplay-wise, it was very, very disappointing. It didn't really have a lot to offer. Underwater Ray Romano 2, I have not played. I think that's all for like the really bad games. I didn't really play Estival Versus either. Played it for a little bit, but alright, the rest of these are going to be a lot harder. This is like the shit tier and stuff I didn't play. Actually, I did try a majority of these games, but I didn't own them. I didn't own them, or I didn't really like beat them or anything, so I didn't really feel like I could really rank them. The first Dynasty Warriors Gundam is pretty bad, but it's kind of just you know, standard beginning of a line of musou games. It just didn't really have much. I barely remember anything about it. The other two were a lot better, though. The first Pirate Warriors, I felt like it had a really bad identity crisis. On the other hand, I did appreciate this game because, you know, I have a lot of real-life friends that fucking love One Piece. They never stop talking about it, and they want me to watch it, and I just keep telling them, like, it would take less commitment to go marry somebody than watch and read all that shit. I actually watched all the cutscenes. I think it was a good introduction to the series, but it had these weird, janky, like, platforming levels and stuff that just felt really random. It also suffered from being a manga and anime that's still running, so a lot of the characters you wanted weren't there. It kind of cut off at a weird spot too, but I did finish this game. It's just, there's no reason to go back to it when the other ones are they all do the same thing that Dynasty Warriors does. They keep just retelling the story 8 million times. There is no reason to go back to the first one besides just playing Busted Sanji. That was like really all there was to it. Okay, the rest of these are going to be a lot harder, so let's fill out the best first. This is going to be obvious stuff. Basara 3, Basara 4, Old School Orochi. Orochi 3 is a good game. You know, I probably would put Warriors Orochi 4 Ultimate in B tier. I think gameplay-wise, I love that game to death. I love playing it, but the game goes out of its way to make you hate playing it because there's such terrible pacing, and the endgame mode has like barely any peons. So if you like tag combos, you like responsive gameplay, this is one of the best games out there, but the game really goes out of its way to make sure you don't have fun playing it. And that's why it is not in the top tier, unfortunately. You know, I didn't really play the first Samurai Warriors that much. I did play a little bit. I played all the other games in the series. The first one I didn't really play that much. Samurai Warriors 4-2 is a piece of shit. It's just more of the same, and you can't even combo anything because they tech out all the time. Samurai Warriors 4-2 is like the precursor to Samurai Warriors 5, where they just don't want you to have any fun playing it. And I really think that's a shame. Multi-Raid 2 is a good game. I really enjoyed playing that game. Really high quality overall. It's a shame it never got localized, but I played it in Japanese. Pirate Warriors 3, go up there. Well, I think that's 4, isn't it? I can't tell which one that is. Is that 2? I didn't really play 2 that much. I think 2 would probably go and not played. 3 is up at the top, obviously. Samurai Warriors 4, hard C tier for me. It was just more of the same, and same old-ass movesets. It just wasn't fun for me to play. I hated playing it about as much as I hated playing 5. Story-wise and stuff, you know, it was probably pretty good, but gameplay-wise, it was a mess. Trying too hard to change things without actually changing things. The same old-ass movesets, but just repurposed animations and stuff. It felt really half-finished. I beat the stories for it, never went back. Batride War Genesis is actually a very good game. I think that's actually one of the better non-Koei Capcom musou games. I really enjoyed it. I think I got the Platinum Trophy on it, if I remember correctly. Or I got most of the trophies. Main things that hold it back is, the frame rate is really bad, for one. It's, like, locked at 30 FPS on PS4. A lack of endgame content. But if you like Kamen Rider, if you like Tokusatsu, it's a really good game. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I might actually go back and play that game at some point. Out of all the imitation musou games, I think it gets the closest to Basara in terms of, you know, the whole thing. There's no clones. There's no, you know, there's a decent amount of depth. It's not like a super deep musou game, but you can look past it because there's no clones, and the movesets, the control scheme is a lot like Basara too. Gameplay-wise, it's nothing really too great, but it definitely does get boosted a lot by fan service. They brought back a lot of the original actors, even some from the Showa era came back, which is pretty crazy because those guys are like in their 60s or 70s by now. Overall fan service, I thought it was great. The thing that sucks about it is they didn't really expand upon it. They started doing those Climax Fighters games, and neither of them are very good. This was the last musou game they did for Kamen Rider. Came out when Ghost was still airing, so Ghost and X8, so I think it was 2016. Pretty recent game. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Pirate Warriors 4, I'd probably give it a B, probably a low B. Problem with Pirate Warriors 4 is the mechanics got worse. They tried to homogenize things, but it didn't work in the right way. You get hit out of combos all the time. A lot of the characters feel half-finished. Like, the The ones that are fun to play are really fun to play in this game, but the ones that aren't are like torture. A lack of in-game content, which is made worse by the fact that they have 9 really well-made DLC characters that they released over the course of 9 months, but there's nothing to use them on. I got the platinum in this game in like 40-50 hours. I don't understand why they got the commission to make the characters and they couldn't even be bothered to add like an endgame mode. It just makes no sense to me. The game has no replay value, and there's a number of reasons for that. The first is just it's such an easy game to just clear everything in. But the other is that most of the characters are really poorly designed, and they're torture to play, so that huge roster gets a lot smaller when you realize that the majority of them suck to play. Dragon Quest Heroes 2? You know, I'd probably give this between a B and a C. The problem with Dragon Quest Heroes 2 is HP sponge enemies, very disjointed balance in the movesets. The martial arts moveset felt great, and I'm just not saying that because I like martial arts movesets in video games. You know, I always play as those kinds of characters, but it felt very responsive, and like almost all the other weapons felt like way slower. It felt like you didn't have good cancel windows and stuff. The enemies were HP sponges. It was ridiculous how much health they had. I thought I was like doing something wrong. I wasn't building my character properly, but no, they really do just have like 80 billion HP. And it just bogs the game down. I put on like a 30% cheat engine code to give myself more damage, and it did help. It made the game more smoother, but I legit got cramps from mashing in that game. You think about the stereotype that all the journalists give musou games where you just mash buttons. You really do mash buttons a lot in that game because everything has so much health. I liked it enough to finish it, but the unbalanced movesets and just the pacing was really bad. A lot of the large battles were like really vast expanses, and the enemies didn't really group up, and they didn't really attack you, so it felt like you spent a lot of time running around, and that definitely dampened it quite a bit. Fate Extella Link. It's actually a pretty legit game. It's a night and day improvement over the previous one. The previous one is Kusage. Fate Extella Link is pretty good. Main problem I had with it was way too easy to break. I beat like the hardest challenge in the game like 20 hours in, and I had like no I actually had a review key for this, so I had like no guidance whatsoever. It's actually a pretty legit game. If you can buy this game on sale, it's worth it. I think it's pretty underrated for a non-Koei Capcom musou. I put it up there with Batride War. Fate Extella Link runs a lot better, but Batride War is a pretty solid game too. Berserk, I would probably give a C. Berserk has some really high points. The endgame mode is awesome, but I didn't like the core gameplay. I didn't like how the officers were in like hyper armor until they were almost dead. It just felt like the combo system was pointless. On the other hand, the endgame mode was great. I thought the endgame mode was what a lot of these other games that are lacking in endgame content needed. Like Warriors Orochi 4 could have benefited from that. Part Warriors 4, Batride War Genesis could have really benefited from it. Yeah, it has no replay value, but it's still a pretty solid game. Spirit of Sanada I didn't play that much, but it's just more of Samurai Warriors 4. Hyrule Warriors I'd give a C. If you like grinding, Hyrule Warriors is great. But mechanically it's just such a dreadfully boring game. There's no depth to the game at all. You just spam the best charge attack over and over and over for like 800 hours. It couldn't hold my interest for more than like 60, 70 hours. I'd barely scratched the surface. The padding is really bad too. They make you play as crap characters and crap movesets to get to the ones you want to use. And even then, it's like just there's just nothing in that game gameplay wise. Everything else it really nails. The music, the roster is really great. The amount of content it has, even though most of it is just padding, is pretty good. But gameplay wise, I couldn't stand it. There was no depth to it at all. It was devoid of depth. Put Dynasty Warrior 6 in C. There are some really good things in this game that aren't there anymore. They had universal dodge canceling, they had guard canceling, they had parries and shit. All that stuff is really good, but the soundtrack is fucking made of bangers too. But you really do just mash buttons in that game. That's all you do. And there's just like nothing to it. And I think that's definitely a problem. Dynasty Warriors 4 I did play, but not that much. I remember Reborn being pretty good, but I can't really comment on it much. 3 I didn't play much. Ken's Rage was pretty fun. I liked playing this game. The performance really killed it, but it was fun. I like Strike Force too. Fire Emblem Warriors I like mechanically, but the clones really bog it down. There's so many clones in that game. Even the DLC characters are clones. Gameplay-wise, it was fun. I like the streamlined grinding because this game came out after Hyrule Warriors did. I like the streamlined grinding. I played the game for like 100 hours and I felt like I had seen pretty much everything. And whether that's a good thing to you or not is subjective, but I enjoyed it for what it was. Mechanically, it was really solid. Definitely feels like they did more to change things up than Samurai 5 did, which is just more of the same. Samurai Warriors 2 is a good game. Dynasty Warriors 2 has not aged well. That was actually the first Musou game I played. There's like no real reason to go back and play that game. 7 I really liked. I liked 7. 7 did a better job of having clones than a lot of the other games did. Tales of the Heroes Twin Brave. It's not terrible, but it's not great either. It's really hard to rank this game. I did finish this game, but it's heavily carried by how much of a Tales fan you are, and I'm a fucking massive Tales fan. I love Tales. I've been playing the games for like 20 years. I thought it was pretty good. Not pretty good, but like slightly above average. But I haven't really played it in a long time, so I can't really comment on it that much. Yuki Muroden, C tier. Number of reasons. The first is that there's not really much replay value. It killed the franchise for one, and it's just not fun to play again because there's so many forced minigames and stuff. Good things about this game, the new movesets are awesome. I really enjoyed the new movesets. Bloody Palace is cool too. That's something that Basar has always desperately needed. I was really glad that they put that in there. Other than that, it's just it's not much to it. Tag mode is gone too, which is a massive dumbing down of the mechanics. It's not a terrible game. It's just the fact that it's the last game we got, and they stopped making them after that. Is what stings the most. There were some really nice ideas there. The new movesets had some jank, but they were really fun. I thought they were really impressive. I think they did a really good job with them, but not having a tag mode really bogged it down. I remember liking Gundam Musou 2. I liked that game. I did everything in that game. Can't comment much more than that. You know, 9 I would probably give a B. I don't think 9 is as bad as all the haters say. I think it actually did try to make some strides with the combat, making it more responsive and getting away from the old ass charge system. I think it deserves merit for that. It's just they tried to make a massive open world game on like a standard Musou budget, which is like nothing. The open world is just barren and dead. It's just like most open world games. It's just a large expanse of nothing. Um, Gameplay wise, I thought it was fun. It's a very brain dead game, but it's fun to play. Um, I definitely did appreciate it. Somebody's been around playing these games forever. I definitely appreciated that they did not use the charge system, and I think that should be respected a lot more because you go and you play Samurai Warriors 5, which came out after, and it just feels like this is the same thing I've been playing for 20 years. But like everything they've done, it's the problem with Samurai 5 is that everything they've done in other games, some of the higher tier games, to kind of alleviate the issue of just being stuck waiting for charge attacks and stuff. All that stuff's gone in Samurai 5. You can't dodge cancel, there's no dodge offset, there's no jump cancel, there's just nothing. Like, both of these games are controversial for different reasons, or actually some of the same reasons. They both have a metric ass ton of clones. But if in a desert island scenario, if I had to choose between one or two of those games, I would choose Dynasty Warriors 9 by far. It's still fun to turn on and play, just tear shit up. Big peon count. The combat is very responsive. It feels like you have a lot of control over the character. Uh, the charge system is gone, which helps. I hope that they will expand upon this system and they don't fucking go back to the charge system again because that's just going to set us back another 6 years. I like what this game represents. I don't really like the product that it became, but um, there are a lot of good points about it that people don't really realize, or they're so clouded and just hating the game blindly. They don't realize that it does have a lot of positive traits about it. Uh, Basara 2 is a good game. Basara 1 is kind of like Dynasty Warriors 2. It's just not really a whole lot to it. It's not really a game you would ever really go back and play outside of just playing as the characters that didn't make it, like Ranmaru and stuff. Um, I don't see a reason to really play it again. Samurai 3 definitely felt like a step down from 2. Only thing I really liked about it was the Agi system. I thought that was pretty cool. It definitely gave the combo system more flair, but you could pretty much play 2 and get the same experience. It kind of just felt like more of the same. Uh, 3 I have not played in ages. I'm not really the standard Musou boomer. I think the new games are a lot better than the PS2 games, but 3 is a pretty good game. Definitely one of the most popular Musou games. I think it deserves some credit for that, but it's probably aged like milk. um, 8, 8 I would give a B. I don't like certain aspects of 8. There's way too much story. Um, the affinity system sucks and it doesn't really let you do style play. Um, doesn't really let you do style play, but they decloned everybody. There are a lot of shit movesets in the game, but at least you're not playing with a clone. The soundtrack is really good too. I like the ambition mode. I like the endgame content in it. Um, the DLC was really nice too. They had a lot of just really good levels for just playing and not having to wait for people to talk and stuff. Um, Problem with this game is just if you like style play like me, it's a bad installment because there's just you can't really do much style stuff in that game at all. It's not as bad as Samurai 5, but um, if you want to do style play, it doesn't really offer that much. Um, Burst Renewal, I'd probably give a very high C. Burst Renewal has all the same problems that the other Cenron Kagura games have, but the parry system is really fun. The parry system adds a lot to it. I was able to tolerate that game enough to finish it. but it has all the same problems the other Cenron Kagura games have, which is the massively homogenized movesets and just a lot of mashing. There's not really a whole lot to it, but the parry system felt pretty fun. It felt better than some of the other bad or lower quality games on here where they try to make the game hard by not letting you combo things or random hyper armor and stuff. In this game was pretty much you had to parry at the right time. It actually felt pretty satisfying to fight officers in this game. But other than that, it's just more of the same. Arslan, I'd probably give a C. Gameplay wise, it was pretty fun. I actually enjoyed it. But the problem with Arslan is just a lack of content. I think I finished the campaign in like 6 hours or something like that. I bought that game back when I got my PS4 a couple years ago, and pretty much all the good stuff was in the DLC. The DLC had like it changed the weapon switch mechanic in a way I don't remember, but the base game is a ripoff. There's just like nothing to it at all. But I think that game did clones a lot better than a lot of the other Koei Tecmo games did. Dynasty 5, I did not play that much. I actually did not play this game that much. Um, let's change this to played much. A lot of the games in here I have played. It's just I didn't finish them or I didn't beat them, so I can't really give a good analysis on them. I played Sonata. I played the Ken's Rage 2 demo was a piece of shit. Uh, Underwater Ray Romano I only played for a little bit. Estival Versus, I think I tried that game at a friend's house and it just didn't feel good. Um, Dynasty 5 I did play, but not that much. I actually did not have that game. I played that at a friend's house. Um, this game is not even out yet. I think it came out. I'm not sure. I think it came out in Japan. Samurai 1 I did play too. A lot of these games I did play, but not really out of... Pretty much all the other games up here I did finish. I finished pretty much all these games at some point. Everything above the lowest tier I did finish. Except for Gintama. Gintama Rumble I did not finish. I couldn't stand that game. Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity, I would give a C. Solely because of the frame rate. I think the game actually has a lot of good things about it. The combat system is pretty good. And it's pretty responsive. There's no clones. The movesets actually have a lot of unique things about them. It's just the frame rate is fucking terrible, and it made me sick to play it. And I think that's worthy of a C tier. Gameplay-wise, it's objectively better than the original game, but the performance is horrendous and unacceptable. And any musou game I can't play because it makes me physically sick is I don't think it deserves to be higher than C. It's a shame, but I will reevaluate that game when they like upgrade it on Switch 2 or it runs at 60 FPS on emulator. And then I won't play that game, but the frame rate it just made it a terrible experience. It felt unplayable. It really did. It felt like it was never at 30 FPS. It felt like it was at like 20. It's a shame because they put a lot of work into it, but the problem right now is there's a lot of really awesome games on Switch that just run terribly because Nintendo can't be bothered to make actual powerful hardware. And Age of Calamity is definitely victim to that. I did play it for a couple hours. I liked what I played, but it actually was making me feel really sick to my stomach. So, yeah, I hate to put that game in here. It's definitely better than a lot of the other games in here, but it's just ruined by the performance. All right, well, that's pretty much it. That didn't take that long. That took like what, half an hour? There you go. Let's go ahead and save that. What do you guys think? That's my list. That's my list. Yeah, I think most of these are relatively objective, but Dynasty 9, I think a lot of people just hate that game blindly, and people they like to ignore the good things about it, and that's what bothers me about the hate for that game. It's not a great game at all, but you have to respect the fact that they tried something new, namely getting away from the ancient charge system. And it's weird that the game does not get enough credit for doing that, even though it was not executed in the best way. There's still a lot of clones. The movesets were small, but you could tell that at least when they were planning the game, they planned to expand upon it. But now with nine empires having like no new movesets, it's pretty apparent that they're going to do something else. I really hope they don't go back to the charge system because I think we have enough games with the charge system. Like Batride War is not a Basara game. It's not a Basara tier game, but it does not have the charge system, and you actually have access to all your attacks right away. And for a modest budget, I think they actually did a really good job of making the characters feel unique. And if you watched at least some of the shows that the Kamen Riders are from, you would really like the fan service and how the attacks were done. They had all the sound bites and stuff. Um, I would rather play that than one of the old charge system games, in my opinion. Yeah, the top tier is pretty much indisputable. These are the best games in the genre, pretty much. There's a couple games you don't have on here, but these are most of the ones that matter. Let me go ahead and pop this in the Discord. All right, well, that's enough for that. I'll post it on Twitter later on. I'm trying to think of which ones you missed. I noticed some ones are not on here, but you got most of the ones that matter. I'm surprised you had the Batride War games on here. No one really knows about those games. If you don't watch Kamen Rider, if you've never watched any Kamen Rider, I still recommend playing Genesis. Genesis is a pretty legit good musou game, but it definitely is elevated a lot by the fan service. It's not like Cenron Kagura fan service, but it's just cool shit fan service. You know, they have all the sounds. A lot of the actors came back. The attacks looked really nice. Um, it is elevated a lot by that, but gameplay wise, it's not terrible. It's not bizarre quality, but out of all the imitation Musou games, um, it's definitely up there. One of the better ones. All right, let's play some Vidya now. Let's play some Vidya. Let's see, what do I feel like playing? Alright, I guess I'll do service games right now. Yeah, Batride Roar 2 is good, but they don't cut characters in that series. They never cut any characters in that series, so it's not like Dynasty and Samurai, where if you want to play as a specific character, sometimes you have to play an older game. Like pretty much all the Batride War games just expanded upon each other, so if you have access to Genesis, there's no reason to play 2. It's one of the rare musou series games where the sequel actually does make the prequels obsolete, because all they did is just add on to it. Nothing was removed at all. No, 2 is kind of not really worth playing. Neither is the first one. They cut a lot of characters out of Dynasty Warriors after 5 came out. So until 9, 8, and 9, sometimes you had to play the older games to get access to those characters. But Batride War is really we're just gonna add like 20 more characters, and they're all pretty well designed. Definitely better than your average Koei Musou character. That game is pretty impressive. I wish they had done more with it. The problem with Batride War, though, is they kind of blew their load in like 3 games. They put in a lot of the really heavy hitter characters. I think that probably might be one of the reasons why they stopped. I'm sure it was a lot more expensive to make than the stuff they've made since, but I think a lot of it was roster issues. I mean, they added like all the Showa riders. They added all of them, which is crazy when you think about it, because there's a lot of them. They added all of them in one installment. And they added a bunch of other characters, too. They added most of the secondary riders and stuff. I guess if they may have realized, like, we blew our load too much in Genesis. You put in, like, a lot of the really popular riders and stuff, and, like, a sequel will not feel as good. Yeah. Yeah, that game does not get enough credit for having no clones for one, and having slightly below Basara tier movesets. You could definitely do a lot worse than that game. The problem is they added too much in the last installment, and I don't think there was much to build off of, which is probably why they stopped. They had the entire Showa roster in one game, which is nuts. That's like a dozen characters right there, and then they had a bunch more. And they had three DLC characters too. Hello. Here, let's relog. Unless it's gonna give me my my bonuses. No bonuses. Gotta relog. It's going okay. Financially, no. But mentally, I'm alright. I've been playing Innocence R past day. That's why I haven't been doing kitty sitting streams. I've been playing that over there. Kind of need to like do a little less on this channel, honestly, because I'm going to be working on so many projects next month. Doing a little less every day is actually going to be really good for me. I might not stream over there much at all until the end of the month. I'm considering scaling it back over there, especially since I'm playing Innocence R. So that got an English patch recently. Honestly, you need to You need to get direct feed, is what you need. And people were, I don't want to sound like an asshole, but you need to get direct feed going. I'm subscribed to you, and you stream with the camera, and it sucks, but people won't really watch that anymore. It used to fly back when we both started, but nowadays people want direct feed. You don't even really need commentary. It's mostly just better quality. It really does go a long way. And there's plenty of... I follow a channel on here. All that guy does, literally all he does, is he just shows the games and the frame rates and stuff. That's all he does. No commentary. He has no commentary. He's not particularly good at the games either. But he's still providing something that people want to watch, which is... They want to see the games, they want to see raw gameplay. People actually don't always want commentary. Sometimes they just want to see the game, and they don't want to see some random guy blabbering over it. Quality is very important. How do you not have money to do it? Don't you have an Xbox? Just record off there. What are you talking about? You don't even need the tablet. Record off the Xbox raw, and then put the file on your iPad or Samsung tablet and upload it that way. You can even upload it from the Xbox. That has no bearing on it at all. Your quality's not going to look as good as, like, you know, other people's, but direct feed goes a long way. Like, I love that guy's channel. I don't go for him for high-level gameplay. It's just... How does the first, like, 20 minutes of this game look? How does it run? Is it running like garbage? Does it actually at an acceptable frame rate? And that's the kind of resource that he provides. I don't think that guy has ever said a single word on that channel, but he gets good following. That's because he's got good quality, and he just kind of, he provides what people want, which is, they want to see the game, how it runs. Then get a portable SSD. They're like $60. Yeah, it's weird that people say, like, to be like a gaming content creator, you need a obnoxious fake personality. You need your face with your mouth open in the thumbnail, and clickbait, and talking all the time. It's like, I can show you a channel of a guy, he never says anything. I know that guy is making good money. Like, if I want to see the game played well, I go somewhere else, but if I just want to see what the game looks like, or like how it runs on the Switch, he provides really useful benchmarks, which saves me a lot of money. He'll often put up a video of something I'm interested in playing, and he shows it running like garbage, so I don't buy it. You know, if I want to see someone good play it, then I go seek out someone else, but that guy definitely proves that you don't need commentary. Good quality really helps. I personally get annoyed when I try to look up a game and the person's not even raw recording in 60 FPS, so I can't see the frame rate of the game. That's definitely something I really value a lot now. You can't really do a benchmark if you're only recording at 30.
私の力はどう？存分に楽しいの？
No, the capture card should come after you actually have people watching your stuff. Can easily get by with the console recording. Unless you're only a Switch gamer, in which case you do need one, but the other two mainstream consoles. Common mistake people make when they start doing this stuff is spending too much. They put in a massive investment and then it just makes it so, you know, they realize, like, I spent like $5 grand on this setup and I have like 3 concurrent viewers. Like, I'm never making that kind of money back, kind of thing. You should expand when you have people watching and you're making at least some consistent income. It is not wise to buy all the stuff you see the top streamers using. So they likely started with nothing too, unless they had like really rich parents that bought them all that shit for them. I started with nothing. I have like 12 million views on this channel, and I started with nothing. I had a DVD recorder, a hand-me-down PC from my mom, and like a Dazzle DVC 100. It took quite some time till I got to the point where I am now, where I have really high quality on my streams and my videos. It's not something that I did right away. I don't know, I cringe when people buy like $3,000 streaming PCs. Like, you're not gonna make that money back unless you're insanely lucky. You gotta start small. It's always better to start doing this as a hobby. If it grows, it grows, but don't cough up a lot of money starting to do this kind of thing. It's just gonna make you depressed. Harbor Warriors 2 sucks because of the frame rate. Well, if you want views and you don't want to spend money on better equipment, then I don't really know what to tell you, man. You say you want it as a hobby, but then you're saying you don't have anyone watching. Like, I gave you a solution. It's not gonna magically help, but video quality goes a long way. It really does. You can do the exact same thing you're doing now with better direct feed quality, and there will be more people watching. I guarantee you that. It's not gonna be like, you're not gonna go viral or anything, but you will have more people watching. It's really not a massive investment. There's even Live Gamer Portable, which just puts the videos on an SD card. You don't even need a computer. It's not that expensive to get into this stuff. It's just expensive if you want to make money. If you don't want to make money, it's really not that expensive to get into. As long as you have access to the latest games. You know, a modern console from like last gen. That's really all you need. A cheap mic from like Walmart. A small like portable hard drive. That's all you need. Yeah, I think the large channels have really messed up their perception of how expensive it is to get into content creation. You know, you see them with like a $300 mic and their computer can probably like freaking pilot space shuttles and shit. They have like quantum powered computers and 4K streams and stuff, and a really good green screen and stuff. I think it's important to look up to those people, but you need to realize that they started with nothing too, unless they have a very fortunate family or some kind of benefactor. No, they're not sponsored. They're not sponsored at the start, dude. You really have a weird perception of like how things start. Most of them started with nothing. The amount of streamers that actually make a living and spend like a fuck ton at the top, they started with nothing. They got really damn lucky. And that's not true either. That is true in some cases, but frame rate. Frame rate. I hate when it does this. Frame rate randomly tanks. It's weird. Well, if you don't want to put the effort in to improve your stream, I gave you ways that cost basically nothing to do it, then I don't really know what to tell you, man. It's not expensive. You already have most of the shit you already need. If you want more people to watch, I gave you pretty clear-cut solutions. I don't even know why you stream with the camera. You should be able to do it off the Xbox and upload it from the Xbox. Shit, I've done that multiple times when my PC's been in service. I've run this channel off the PS4. There really shouldn't be anything stopping you with the equipment you already have. Oh, you have to look it up. It's right there. I have run this channel off the PS4 for months at a time. There's been a number of times where my PC's been in the shop. And I've had to run it off the PS4 completely. I was still uploading every day without a computer. You have the capabilities to do it, you just need to learn how and put the effort in. Yeah, but for the games he plays, it's not a problem. He doesn't really play any of the really popular stuff. That shouldn't be a problem. Oh, they added a new battle pass. What's the main reward this time? See, is this one worth buying? Get some talent cards. Actually, let's just do it this way. Oh, they're just giving this away again. I don't know if I'll buy this one. Thinking about it. Nothing. Damn. Didn't add any new weapons for him this patch. There is a streamer, I don't want to name him, but he had some very wise words, and he's actually a pretty large streamer himself, but so it means a lot coming from him. He said, the larger the viewership, the worse the gameplay. Which is ironic coming from him because he's like a Souls speedrunner. He does a lot of really hard-ass speedruns, mostly like Souls games and shooters and stuff. And he basically said, that is true. The higher up you go, the worse the gameplay becomes. You want people to like actually know how to play the game and have like some semblance of passion for it. You need to go down a lot farther. You're not gonna find it on those channels. There's a number of reasons for that. The first is that everybody is quick to say, well, they suck at the games. It's like, well, that might be true, but you have to realize that when you're at that level, there's so much to do outside of the stream and your videos. You need to be playing the games, you need to be making the videos, you need to be you know, applying for review keys and stuff like that. It takes a lot of time. And at that point, you kind of have to choose what you want to play as well, because there's just not enough hours in the day. You know, I'm single, You know, I work from home, and I work at my neighbor's house. I have like no commute. You know, I don't have those kinds of things bogging me down, but I spend a lot of time on stuff that you guys don't see, and looking for the games and applying the keys. You know, applying for the keys and editing the videos. Well, editing doesn't really take that long for me. I kind of do minimalist content creation unless the editing is absolutely necessary. Like, if I'm doing a guide and there's going to be like 10 minutes of dead air, then, you know, I'll cut that out and stuff. But actually practicing the games too, there's a lot to it. And when you're at the top, there's just even less time. A lot of the top streamers, they don't even really run their YouTube channels. They pay an editor to do it. It's just not possible to do high-end streaming and content creation as one person, you know, unless you're like streaming with your family or something, like your wife or your husband or your brother or your partner or whatever is helping you. If it's just like a one-person thing like mine, there's just not enough hours in the day. You know, a lot of them do suck at the games, but people don't see the other aspect of it. Having to choose what to cover, you know, seeing if a sponsorship deal is actually legit or if they're trying to scam you. There's a lot that goes into it. I don't have an editor. I don't have anybody helping me with this at all. I have a friend that helps me out financially, but I do all this shit myself. I have no help. And I know it's apparent, and sometimes my videos just lack quality. It's because I have too many things going on in my real life. I'm dealing with my depression and shit, and I just can't put as much effort into this as I want to. And I've also been doing this long enough to know that putting an excessive amount of effort into something on here is not always worth it. You can get by with minimal effort. Especially for the kinds of games I play. I don't really play a lot of popular games. And people are a lot less picky. You know, if you're providing one of the only resources for a niche game, people aren't going to complain that, you know, your video is not meticulously edited and you don't have a webcam in the corner, you're not using a green screen and stuff. As long as the video quality is good and you get the point across, people are generally happy with that. And I don't need to increase my workload more than I already do. Because I work really fucking hard on this. I haven't been working hard on this month, but I've had a number of things happen in my personal life. You know, my cat died last month, and I'm still reeling from that, and financially things have been really hard too. Yeah, people don't think about that stuff. They just see those people stream and they think that that's all they do. It's like there's so much more to it. Speaking of which, I should promote my link because the light side's not here. Next month is going to be crazy expensive for this channel, so if you want to help soften the blow, there you go. I'm going to go ahead and run through my my peak trial. You can tell what I put effort into, the guides and stuff. Like, if I'm just playing random stuff, I'm not gonna go edit shit for no reason. Let me finish this level and I'll go over what I'm covering. I need to finish this map first. I hope you realize that a sponsorship is not the same thing as getting a review key. You're using very improper terms. I get lots of review keys. Do I get paid to play those games? No. The only money I make off those games is the content I make. And no, that has nothing to do with it. Barely anybody gets sponsored to play fighting games. A review key is not a sponsorship. They're two completely different things. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and show what I'm gonna be covering. Just give me a second. I'm gonna pull everything up. Just give me a minute here. Well, people know what I'm gonna be playing and what I'm trying to raise funds for. I gotta set everything up. Hold on. Yes, you do not get sponsored for those. Only the toppest of the top get that. Well, why are you comparing yourself to them? You keep saying, complaining that no one's watching. And then you're comparing yourself to, like, the toppest of the top. Of course they're gonna get free shit. Look at how many eyes they have on them. I mean, it sucks when you're starting out, but that's just the reality of it. You're not gonna get keys if no one's watching. And most of them barely compete. Max does not compete. Justin Wong barely competes anymore. I don't know why you're comparing yourself to the top, and you don't want to put the effort in to make your quality better, and you're worrying about whether people are better or not. There's more to it than that. Ironically, in the FGC, if you want to make money playing fighting games, it's actually not effective to compete. Because, well, before the pandemic at least, getting to the tournaments is expensive. And most of them barely broke even back in, like, the height of fighting game tournaments and streams and stuff. Like, there are people that just make content like me for fighting games, and they make a solid living. They don't compete. You know, they're not like top-level players. They're good enough to educate people, but they're not like top-level players. You're not going to see them in top 8 at EVO, but they provide a different service. It's actually been really shitty to try to do fighting games as a job in the traditional sense, which is just doing well enough to get sponsored and then, you know, being paid to go to tournaments and stuff. They make barely any money, and the sponsorship takes a huge cut. Whereas people that make guides for the characters and stuff, you know, how to play them and mechanics and stuff and tech, like, they make solid livings. Some of them do. It hasn't been feasible to make money just being good at fighting games for a long time. It never really was. You know, I'm decent enough at fighting games. I could probably, if I wasn't playing so much other shit, you know, I probably could, like, maybe get sponsored or something, but I don't care to. The stress of travel and the low profit margin and the fact that you need to perform well to even get noticed, it's just not worth it. I think the pandemic really opened up the eyes of a lot of people trying to make money off fighting games. Like, you never needed to leave your house. Leaving your house is just making it harder. If you just make cool shit from home that actually educates people, then people will watch. You do not need, you know, you don't need to be at the top of the top. You don't need to be like a top 3 player. In fact, a lot of the sponsorships in the FGC are like fucking jokes anyway. They barely pay anything. They barely pay for the flights. Or a lot of them are just, they don't even pay at all. Yeah, I think the pandemic has been a blessing in disguise for the FGC, in my opinion. As somebody who's been in the FGC for a long time, there's a number of reasons for that. The first is that the developers are actually being held accountable for having shit netcode. You know, they always coasted by on just, well, people fly across the world to play these games. We don't need to make them playable at home. But then, boom, COVID hit. And now nobody can really do large gatherings. We're just barely getting to that point now, almost 2 years later. So now there's been a huge movement. It's like, hey, we can't get around your shit netcode by meeting in person anymore. The game needs to be playable at home. Otherwise, the game is going to fail. And the pandemic actually did a lot to kind of make the developers wake up. You can't really have a fighting game in 2020 or 2021 that is not playable online, or it's just going to get left in the dust. Perfect examples is Samurai Warriors 7, the new Samurai Warrior, not Samurai Warriors, but Samurai Showdown. I hear that's a great fighting game, but the netcode is terrible, so it's dead. Grand Blue Fantasy Versus. I hear it's a pretty decent game. I haven't played it myself. Shit netcode. It's dead. You look at the games that are actually doing pretty well right now because they have good online, and it's like barely any of the big popular franchises. It's mostly Skullgirls of all things, KOF 2002 Unlimited Match, Plus R, Battle for the Grid, Killer Instinct. Like, none of those are like super popular games, but they definitely have gained a lot more relevance because they're actually playable online. Alright, hold on. I think I've got everything ready. Alright, let's just do it like this. Okay, so the shit I'm trying to raise funds for, go to coming soon. I might try Melty. I don't know. I have such an expensive month next month. I don't know if I might just get this next month in October. I'll wait to see some gameplay on that first. They really haven't shown much. I wanted to try this game out, Ultra H, but there's a demo for that. I'll play that first. And Arise, I'm still on the fence about this game, but a game on PC, so all the jank will be fixed. I fucking hate the hyper armor. I despise it with every fiber of my being, but I think it might be better than I give it credit for. I'm trying to raise funds for that, and then let me change scenes here. Take this off. There's a couple of things coming out on Steam I'm trying to raise funds for. So Arise is coming out next month in like barely 2 weeks. This got pushed back to next year, which I saw coming. I'm looking forward to that. I'll probably get a key for that game, though. Metallic Child, I'm looking forward to. Now, those are the main ones right now. That's what I'm trying to raise funds for. It's going to be a really damn expensive month, so I'm hoping I can get some help. I actually didn't get much sleep last night, so I'm probably not going to stream much longer. Probably going to go to bed, try to get some rest. All the good shit's not coming out until next year. The rest of these games look bad. Jitsu Squad, Detained, I'm looking forward to. Ninja Turtles. There's nothing good in here. But yeah, that's what I'm trying to raise funds for. That's the gist of it. Alright, let's go back to the main scene. Let's see, do I feel like doing anything else tonight? I'm actually pretty tired. I'm running pretty low on sleep. See if I feel like playing something relaxing. I think of the Turtles trailer. I mean, that Gamescom thing, most of those games, they showed, like, no gameplay at all. It's a bunch of those stupid CG trailers, not even showing the game. There was some cool stuff they showed, though. There were, like, 4 games I was interested in playing, which is more than I generally expect, because I don't play, like, really popular stuff. And it was painful to watch, because they did, like, 20 minutes of Call of Duty, which is, like, the most boring thing. Especially since it's World War II for the 800th time. That shit was boring to watch. All the games that didn't show any gameplay felt really pointless to watch, too. Like, okay, you've got, like, hundreds of thousands of people watching. Show the fucking game. Don't show me some outsourced CG trailer that some people in another country probably crunched on to get done in time. Show me the actual game. It really bothers me how they do that more and more now. Even when it's not a game I'm interested in, it still pisses me off, because if I was interested in those games, I would want to see the actual game and not some fucking CG movie. Oh, damn it.
Clover.
No, it's all messed up. I gotta restart it. So I changed the resolution. Let's try that again. Yeah, there's a 60 FPS patch for this. I wanted to try it out really quick. I don't feel like really hardcore gaming tonight. I'm really tired. This whole dual wielding jobs thing is left me pretty exhausted.
That's what I expected from you.
I just want to try out some of this stuff. I'm probably just gonna call it a night. Try to get to bed at a decent hour. Alright, let's see how well this works.
Come on!
how to do the God Hand. I don't remember the controls. I haven't played this in a long time. Yeah, I don't know why it does that. It does that when I apply the 60 FPS patch.
What are you nervous?
I'll fix it later. Surprised how much muscle memory I still have. I played this game to death when it came out. I couldn't get away. this works. It's very nice. I'll make a video about that at some point. They put out RetroArch update a couple days ago that it automatically comes with some 60 FPS patches, and that's one of them. Oh, the capture's messed up. Hold on. Let me fix that. No, damn it. I'm about to restart it anyway. Hold on. It's annoying to capture PS2 because it reads the main menu as its own source. So I have to physically go in and fix it. Let's see if I can fix this. Alright. There we go. Controls aren't working. What gives? Hell. That's annoying. It's probably because my controller has direct input. I have to switch to direct input. Oh, it is on direct input. Huh. Alright, let's see if I can fix this. Alright, let's try this again. No dice. No worky. I wanted to play some of this before Rise comes out too, so I gotta fix this shit now. It's like it forgot the bindings. Yeah, I want to make a new game plus file. I'm just not going to have time to do it before Arise. I'm playing through Innocence R right now too, but I can't stream that. I've already played that game on this channel anyway. I've been playing that over at work. That's what I was doing today. Alright. Yeah, Sasurai was... That guy was an OG. It's all jacked up. Hold on. How do I restart? D-pad's not working. Oy vey. Why is the D-pad not working? What the hell is wrong with this, man? I set all this stuff. I'm just gonna put this back in X input. I don't think that's what's messing with it. I actually have I have a third-party controller. I have a third-party controller that has it has Switch, Android, Direct Input, and X Input. And sometimes these emulators get really confused. Alright, is this gonna work? Nope, mappings are still not there. I don't know what's up with this right now. It should just be working like last time I played on here. Like, it was like a month or two ago. I haven't changed anything. I haven't updated the emulator. I haven't changed the ISO. Everything is exactly the same as it should be. The emulator's like, no. Alright, can I play the video game now? So I'm like too tired to even play at this point. I'm just trying to get this fixed for later. Alright. Video game. My D-pad's still not working. What the... Did I not tell it to already do the D-pad? Alright, video game. Alright, we're good now. Jeez. Alright, well, I actually don't want to play that right now, so I'm doing Innocence R. But that'll probably be the, I might play that a little bit before, Arise. Celebrate the death of the LMBS. The LMBS is never coming back. Which I get depressed about every day. They're never bringing the LMBS back. It's dead. They keep coming back with shitty, half-baked replacements for it, which aren't anywhere near as good. I don't know why. Raze is like the last bastion for the LMBS at this point, which is depressing. Yeah, they don't want to do LMBS anymore, and everything they do that's not the LMBS is so much worse, which is the worst part about it. Like, just give me my damn LMBS back, please. Speaking of LMBS games, I've got Xelia 2 on here somewhere. I'm trying to find it right now. Try to get that running too. Might do a little bit of some of the Tales games I really like before Arise comes out. So I don't have anything really major to play right now. I'm sure you guys noticed, but I've just been doing random stuff. So I haven't had a lot of direction on this channel for a while. But it's actually fine with me. Having less to do it's not bad. Hold on a second. I don't even know where my ROMs are for this. Where did they go? I'll set this up too while I'm at it. I cannot find my ROMs. I don't know where the hell they went. I have probably like 12 or 13 years of stuff on this computer. I've had backed up and stuff, so sometimes it gets hard to find things. And some things got messed up when I updated my PC back in like the spring. Well, the last stimulus check they gave us, I used that to upgrade my PC. I can't find where I have the ROMs. Like, where are they? Ah, here we go. I found them. Thing that bothers me about Tales is I should not need to emulate these games. I like how they're trying to do the Capcom tests. They're like, oh, well... They actually put out an article. The Tomizawa, the director, he was like, oh, well, if people buy Arise, we're gonna alternate and do ports. You should already be doing ports. You should have been doing them forever. Like, why are you not doing them? I wonder why Tales is so niche compared to, like, Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest, because those games are way more accessible. You can play the entire Final Fantasy series on Steam. All of them. Mainline games, not all the side stuff, but just the mainline numbered main installments. They're all on Steam. You can buy that entire series during a Steam sale for probably like $100. You wonder why Tales hasn't been relevant for so long. Well, that's why. The games are not accessible. You need emulators and patches and all this other stuff, and it's like the average person doesn't want to do that shit. They want to just go on Steam or PSN or the Microsoft Store or the eShop and just buy it. They do not want to do that. It really pisses me off. You know, I have a legal copy of this game. I'm looking at it right now. But to play it anymore, I have to do this. I have to go through this emulator. I have to go set up all these settings and troubleshoot it and stuff. It's not pick up and play. They've done a really bad job taking care of the Tales series. They do a really shit job. And it just sucks because I'm very passionate about this series. I'm incredibly passionate about Tales. But it's such a terrible series to get into. Because the games, they just are not accessible at all. I just don't understand why they do such a crap job of maintaining this series. They really do a terrible job at it. And it's a shame. I should not need to do what I'm doing right now. I shouldn't need to. I should not need to do this. Well, I didn't like that. Hold on, I'm trying to fix this. Okay, that didn't work either. I'm trying to get this up on the streams. Just hold on. Yeah, I can't get the source up. Nope, not that. That's weird. It's not showing up in here. I don't know why. I have the source set up, but oh wait, there we go. What was that? Did it work? I saw it appear for like a split second. What happened? What is up with this? Maybe I need to maybe I need to make it run in a different... See if I can fix this. Alright, let's try that again. Yeah, I don't want to fuck with these ports at all. I want to just buy the game. I want the game to be legally available on a relevant platform. I don't care how much you charge me. Go ahead and charge 50 bucks again. I legit don't care about that. It's just... I get tired of doing this stuff. I get sick of it. I should not need to do this to play a game that didn't even come out 10 years ago. This is not an old game at all. It's only 9 years old. It's crazy that it's just not accessible. I can't play it. I don't know why this is not working. Let me try something else. Okay, that worked. Alright. Controls don't work. Control's still not working. Jeebus cripes. Did I not just set that up? Oh, it says it's disconnected. That's why. That's weird. It defaulted to a controller that does not exist, which is some cursed shit if I've ever seen it. Why did that just happen? I want to get into the video game, please. Can I play the video game? I'm attempting to play a video game. I'm not having very good luck. Alright. I don't even know what the proper settings for this game are. They probably changed. So I set up this emulator like last year. Alright. Is there video game? Yes, there's video game. My save's gone, but I wasn't that far in. Just want to see how this runs.
I got all of the straight. You actually think you'll make it through the trial like this? Don't make me laugh, Luger.
Luger. Akalugi.
The gears of fate that grind
Luger von
us bind
Kresnik.
upon us an armor of death. It's a key and a lance that pierces space and time. Souls encircle the
Story
throne
in this
void.
game is
The branches of history
awful.
reach out to infinity.
Combat is great. Skip the cutscenes. Luger. So Tales of Arise preview right here. Look at that hyper armor. Isn't it beautiful? Nakishigure.
Do you have what it takes?
Luger Kresnik.
To choose, to pass the trial? Answer me! Luger Kresnik!
Luger.
But
Yeah, the story in this game is horrendous. Yeah, the bad ending is just depression porn.
Okay.
It's the epitome of depression porn. Alright, well, cool. This is working much better than it did last time I played this. Huh. Well, means I can do a little, I'll do a little Tales retrospective with the games I have access to. So, I'll probably do some Vespi, some TODR, and what else can I do? Xillia 2 I was just playing. Probably do a little bit of all those games, because those are some of the best Tales games. I'll try to get to that. Maybe not this week, because I had some other stuff I wanted to do this week, but... actually, yeah, I'll probably do, like, maybe 3 or 4 days. I'll do a little retrospective on the Tales games. I don't really have access to my save files anymore, but... yeah, I think people will like that. It's just some casual fun. Yeah, there's like alternate worlds and stuff. It makes no sense, and it's just depression porn. And the bad ending is some of the worst depression porn I've ever seen. It makes no sense. It's the bad kind of depression porn where it's like it's not even really even trying to like convey a message. It's just depressing for the sake of being depressing. It's really not enjoyable at all. Luckily, you can skip all the cutscenes in that game, so it really doesn't matter. Alright, let's see who's on Twitch. Oh, I go to bed. I don't feel like starting another game right now, but I've got the Tales games ready to go for my little event I'm going to be doing, so... I think people will like that. I'm probably not going to do it this week, but next week. I might do a little bit of prep time on the save files the next few days, since I don't really have anything else to play besides service stuff. Let's see. There's a couple of streams I want to watch right now. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna go to bed. Streams today. I'll probably do 2 house streams and no kitty sitting stream. Yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna do. 2 house streams, no kitty sitting stream, because I've been playing Innocence R with the English patch, and I can't stream that. So I'll probably do one on like the afternoon, and then one of my normal time when I get back from kitty sitting. I might do some Tales. Probably Tales and service stuff. I'm really not hyped for Arise at all, but Tales games don't come out that often anymore, so I do want to hype it up a little bit. I think people are already well aware of my opinions on the game, so judge on the demo. But that game's going to be modded like crazy. Like Kingdom Hearts 3 is probably the mods for Kingdom Hearts 3 is probably what you can expect for Arise. People are going to be changing like entire mechanics and removing the jank and making it more responsive. So I will be buying it. The first playthrough is probably going to be miserable, but I don't know. It's really hard to judge right now. That demo was an ancient build, so we'll see. But yeah, I'll be doing some Tales stuff the next couple days. Probably do some Destiny, some Vespi, and Xillia. So I got all that set up tonight, actually. I actually did not take that long. So, yeah. It's going to be a really expensive month, so if you want to help, there you go. I will see you guys probably before and after my kitty sitting shifts. Or I might do a kitty sitting stream over there at lunch, and then not do one at night at my normal shift. I haven't decided yet, but it should be at least two streams max today. Thanks for watching. Support me if you can. I'll see you guys later.